Today I will show you how to mold one of the twin chefs from the game of Little Nightmares from plasticine. The Little Nightmares series presents a grim shadow-filled adventure. Players will discover that Little Nightmares blurs the lines between dreams and nightmares as they explore places like the Maw, the Nest, the Pale City and other locations in the Little Nightmares universe in an effort to escape its nightmarish confines. The twin chefs are the second antagonists in Little Nightmares. With a love of violence and a feeling for meat, the twins were born to be chefs. As they shuffle across the cold floor, chopping, mincing, preparing the feast, the twin chefs sense something that makes their skin itch. A dirty, unwelcome presence. Vermin will not be tolerated in the kitchen. They use anything from hammers to cleavers and will not hesitate to turn them on intruders. The twin chefs are obese, bulbous creatures. They each wear a white smock, an apron, a chef's hat, and brown shoes. Their faces appear to actually be masks, and their true skin underneath is possibly gray or blue. The twin chefs are first encountered in the kitchen of the Maw, where they presumably prepare the food for the guests. Following her escape from the blind janitor, Six spots one of the chefs in the distance as she arrives in the kitchen area on a meat hook, quickly hiding from the chef as he goes about his work. While fetching a key to the meat locker from the chef's bedroom, Six inadvertently wakes up the chef's twin brother, but manages to hide from him as well. Eventually, Six arrives in the busboy area, but is discovered climbing a pile of dishes and hunted down, narrowly escaping from the twins on another meat hook. Later, as Six makes her way through the guest area, one of the twins arrives in an elevator and chases her to a nearby bathroom. When he fails to find her, he leaves in frustration. Neither of the twins are seen again for the remainder of the game. Like the other characters in Little Nightmares, the twin chefs do not speak, but their personality is shown through their actions. Much like the janitor, the twins serve the Maw without question by preparing the food for all the guests. Despite their occupation, their personal hygiene is as questionable as the source of their ingredients, shown when they openly cough around food, rip open a large piece of raw meat with possibly unwashed hands, and unclog a washing station's drain with a toilet plunger. As loyal servants of the Maw, they will not hesitate to attack and chase Six on sight, going so far as to add her to the menu if captured. Chefs are pretty fast, but not the most powerful enemies in the game. They will chase Six, and if she doesn't have time to run away from them, they grab her and either choke her or add to the dish for the guests. However, you can easily hide from them under any furniture where the cooks cannot stick their hands in. Their other weakness is clumsiness. Unlike the janitor, they will never be able to reach Six if she is too high. the character I sculpted today. If you like my stories and plasticine works, share this video with your friends. And also like, subscribe to my channel and click on the bell so as not to miss the new video. Today I will show you how to blind a girl named Six. She is from the game Little Nightmares. Six is the main protagonist of Little Nightmares, a supporting character in Very Little Nightmares, and the antagonist of Little Nightmares 2. She is known as a smart and hearty girl of about 9, the main sign of which is a yellow raincoat with a triangular-shaped hood. Throughout the entire universe of games, Six is trying to survive in a world filled with cruel monsters, seeking to destroy it by any means. Trapped in the darkest depths of the maw, starving and alone, Six's world is one filled with danger. Most children would have already given up, but Six is different. She's smart and tough and has a lovely yellow raincoat. She belongs elsewhere. Awakening in a world she cannot recognize, Six must learn to trust someone else if she is to stand a chance of survival. She has already seen more than any normal child ever should, but then, Six is not a normal child. Little is known about Six's past before the game's events, but it's stated that she belongs elsewhere, implying that she used to live somewhere else before she arrived at the maw. Her backstory is further explored in the comics, which show that Six originally lived in an unnamed city until she was captured by the ferryman. The maw is a large floating entertainment facility in the middle of the ocean that specializes in imprisoning children for unspecified but implied reasons and hosting massive annual banquets for particularly gluttonous travelers. The children are guarded by a blind but perceptive and dangerous man simply known as the janitor. In Very Little Nightmares, it is revealed that Six was also a prisoner in the nest. As shown in a post-credit scene, it is implied she obtained her yellow raincoat following the demise of the girl in the yellow raincoat and escaped using a raft. That's all what I know. I continue to sculpt the character from the game, and you follow the sculpting process. Here is the character I sculpted today. If you like my stories and plasticine works, share this video with your friends. And also like, subscribe to my channel and click on the bell so as not to miss the new video. Today I will sculpt figures from plasticine from the game Little Nightmares. The janitor, also known as Roger, in the game files, is the first inhabitant antagonist of the maw Six encounters, and one of many individuals that oppose her on her journey in Little Nightmares. With long-forgotten things from long-forgotten places, he fled the world and found the maw. Now as the janitor he is a tall tale hiding in the shadows, stalking the silence, a monster alone. The janitor appears as an incapacitated male deprived of eyesight. His most notable features are his minuscule legs, making him a dawdling adversary, arms protracted beyond proportions, enabling him to reach farther than his associates, and his deficiency of a suitable torso, giving the deception that his appendages are connected to an ordinary pair of legs suitable for a 3-foot human being. The lady served as the main antagonist of Little Nightmares. She was the proprietress of the maw and was said to cast the spell that keeps it running. With graceful restraint, the lady casts the hypnotic spell that keeps the engine running. Amidst the chaos of the world outside, the maw is the only place that makes sense, and now this rumor of an escaped child threatens everything. Nothing can be allowed to interfere. The guests must eat. The maw must survive. The lady is an unnaturally tall, slender woman with raven black hair that she keeps partially wrapped in a bun. She is adorned in a long dark brown kimono, which seems to trail moderately behind her when she walks. Her face is perpetually covered by a white porcelain mask similar to a Japanese Nome mask, through which two lifeless black eyes stare out. In spite of nearly all of her body being covered, the skin tone on her neck seems to be a pale demi-tasse color. Here is the character I sculpted today. If you like my stories and plasticine works, share this video with your friends. And also like, subscribe to my channel and click on the bell so as not to miss the new video. Today I will show you how to make characters from the game Little Nightmares. Perhaps I'll start with the teacher. The teacher is an antagonist in the upcoming sequel Little Nightmares 2 encountered in the school. The teacher is a slim woman who dresses similar to school teachers from the 1910s, with a gray skirt, a beige buttoned-up shirt, white socks, and black Mary Janes. Her head is large relative to her body and heavily wrinkled. Her eyes are moderately baggy, and her short curly hair appears to be graying. The Hunter is the first antagonist from the upcoming sequel Little Nightmares 2. The Hunter seems to work alone, stalking the wilderness with a rusty shotgun and a lantern-style flashlight. His motives are unknown, but he does appear to have an interest in taxidermy. The Hunter is a stumpy, yet large humanoid that wears a green coat, boots, brown pants, and a Gatsby atop his head. His face is hidden by a sack with a single eye hole enabling him to see. With close inspection, his right arm leaks out a cotton-like substance. Like the other characters of the franchise, the Hunter does not talk, and his personality is shown through his actions. He is shown to be possibly unhealthy and is rather aggressive while he performs taxidermy. It is evidence that, when the Hunter sets his mind to something, he doesn't back down. As when Mono and Six escape his cabin and evade him several times, he continues to venture deeper into the woods in pursuit of them. It can also be said that the Hunter is somewhat of a slob, given the state of his cabin, which is a total mess with the many things lying out and about. The Hunter carries a double-barreled shotgun to shoot and a lantern to spot victims. He will run after Mono and Six, but more often the Hunter will aim and shoot at them, killing them if they stay out in the open too long. The player can hide behind various objects which will shatter when hit. There will also be times where Mono and Six will have to evade the Hunter through time stealth. If Mono gets too close to the Hunter, he will bludgeon him in the back of the head with the butt of his shotgun. Well, I finished this figure. As for me, the Hunter turned out like a real one. So if you like my stories and works, like me, subscribe to my channel and click on the bell so as not to miss the new video. Today I will show you how to make characters from the game Little Nightmares. The Granny is the first antagonist encountered in Secrets of the Maw. She lives in the depths of the Maw and appears to be extremely hostile. She is one of the few enemies you fight in a level you first find them in others, being the Janitor and the Lady. The Granny, as her name suggests, is a monster that resembles an old woman. She has spare thin hair, long arms and legs and wears a tattered rag or cloth. The Granny typically remains out of view, her only indication of movement being a rippling motion on the surface of the water followed by a bubbling growl that grows louder as the Granny approaches the player. If you've looked up to this point, write the word Granny. I got such a granny, in my opinion it came out like a real one, so if you liked the figure, like it. Mono is the main protagonist from the upcoming sequel Little Nightmares 2. He is set to accompany Six on a journey to the Black Tower. Mono is a short and scrawny fair-skinned boy whose face is hidden by a light brown paper bag with two round eye holes that enable him to see. He wears an almost unbuttoned olive-colored trench coat that reaches below his knees above a brownish-gray shirt tucked into his long brownish-gray pants rolled up at the end. His hands and feet are bare. Mono can also wear items like a key on the side of his jacket. As shown in the teaser from 2019, under the paper bag he wears, Mono has short, messy black hair that sticks out a little bit. Well, I finished this figure. So if you like my stories and works, like me, subscribe to my channel and click on the bell so as not to miss the new video. The twin chefs are one or two of the antagonists in Little Nightmares of Chapter 3 in the kitchen. The lore says that they were born to be chefs. This could mean that they're very talented chefs, but their filthy kitchen, and that they cough at the food makes you think otherwise. It could also mean this literally, that they were raised or created, perhaps by the lady, to be the chefs of the Ma, which is why she has portraits of them as children. The twin chefs are enemies of Six in Little Nightmares. They've been the focus of several promotional videos and images, and are usually seen attacking Six, who is often sneaking through their kitchen. The chefs seem to be the cooks for the Ma as a whole. Like the rest of the inhabitants of the Ma, they do not speak, they only grunt and scream. The two can usually be found in their kitchen preparing meals and bickering over one another's mishaps and failures. However, what they lack in organization and intelligence they more than make up for with brute strength and speed. Six encounters them in the third chapter of the game, having to crawl under tables to make sure they do not see her. Most of their personal furniture seems to be stitched together, such as their beds, photos and even toilets. It is revealed that their faces are in fact masks, but it is unknown what lies underneath. They are extremely hostile towards Six, seeing her as a rat in the kitchen that needs to be exterminated. They chop up old guests to make more food, and then start the cycle over again. One of the chefs makes a cameo around the guest area in Chapter 4. Well, nobody knows how the Cook brothers look in reality without a mask. But I imagine it's something like this. If you like it under the video, and write comments on the topic of Little Nightmares. the Cannibal Chefs is ready. If you like the figure, like it, and in the commentary, write the name of your favorite character from the game Little Nightmares. Today I will show you how to blind Nome from the game Little Nightmares. Gnomes are characters in Little Nightmares. The gnomes are pale-skinned creatures with comically large conical hat on their heads, covering their entire face. They appear to only wear a dirty white shit, and their feet are completely bare. The gnomes are very small, even shorter and scrawnier than 6. Unpredictability can be found throughout the maw, and so can the gnomes. Though experience has taught them to be skittish, some still try to make friends with strangers. These gnomes rarely survive. Here is such a cute gnome I did. If you like my stories and works, share this video with your friends. And also like, subscribe to my channel and click on the bell so as not to miss the new video.